everybody. This is Jackie Cox coming to you again with Ace Community. So, adventure, creativity, and enjoyment. And I'm super excited to have Devin Lease here with us today with Your Castle Real Estate. So, Devin, super glad to have you. Welcome, Devin.
Thank you.
So Devin is one of our featured speakers coming up for our ACE community meeting on Wednesday, July 1st. Here we are already in the second half of the year for July 1st. We do meet from 4 to 6 p.m. at Bucket List Tavern in Castle Rock. And for the July meetings, we have five of our member speakers join in and share their insights, their lessons they've learned along the way, something, a story that could even resonate with one person in the room, anything that they would like to share. They have 5 minutes each to share because you know what? I feel like if they're sharing their stories, a lot of times other people can relate and say, you know what, I've gone through that too, type of thing. So we are super excited. So Devin, tell us a little bit about you and how you got started with your real estate business here.
Of course, of course. Well, thank you for having me. It's an honor. Again, my name is Devin Lease. I'm a realtor with Your Castle Real Estate and the Hines Home Team. Behind that, I'm also growing my brand as Homes with Devin. I help people buy and sell houses throughout Colorado, but my passion does go beyond real estate. I love design, staging, and helping clients create a home and a life that they truly love. And I believe that relationship matters most. And I want my clients to feel like they have a friend in their corner, not just an agent.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Devin, I was so impressed with you right away when you mentioned one of the fun things that makes you unique of when you're in a house or a home with people and you're showing it off and you put it on video. What do you do with it?
Well, a lot of times I like to dance in the kitchen.
I love it.
That is one of my most favorite things to do. I kind of grew up doing that. And so to me, I have to evaluate a kitchen's danceability and rate the kitchen in that way. So for me, the kitchen, that's where the heart of the home is. That's where everybody gathers. So if you can dance in a kitchen, then the home is all right by me.
Fantastic. I love that. I love that. And so, what about some of the best things you've seen about a kitchen that makes it a danceable kitchen? Is it the size? Is it the movability where the island is or where it's not? What is it about it that makes it danceable?
It could be a combination of a lot of things because some kitchens have a really big island and that's great as long as there's enough room between the island and,
Yeah.
the back cabinets. I like to spin. So if there's some sliding room, kind of Tom Cruise style, then that works out for me. If it's a galley kitchen, again, as if it's long enough, it's great. If the flow is good and you can kind of spin from the fridge to the stove, then that's good. If it is a U-shaped kitchen, as long as there's enough space to kind of, dance from one side to the other. Really, it's really just if it's a kitchenette, then usually it's not that great unless it's connected open conceptly to the dining area. Then I can
Sure.
utilize some of that space as well.
Awesome. Awesome. I love it. I love it. So, do you and your husband, dance in the kitchen a little bit when you're home cooking or anything like that?
So I try. He's not a very good dancer. But he will try, so at least that's kind of fun. A lot of times I dance with my dogs in the kitchen.
I love it.
I do, or I will dance for them and they look at me like I'm crazy. I do have a video out from my kitchen actually from the holiday season, and I was singing Into the Wooden Spoon. So,
Of course.
it's just something I really enjoy doing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, I love that. I love that. And you know what? Sometimes when we dance with the dogs, I know they think we're crazy, but they end up loving it though. Their tails are
They
wagging a
do.
little more and they're just like, yeah, you seem a little crazy, but we kind of like you, and so we're gonna
Yeah,
keep doing this.
yeah, yeah, they do. They really do. I agree.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so how did you get, I know you shared it with me, but share with our audience, how did you get your start in real estate?
So, really long story short, I've always wanted to be in real estate. I always thought it was going to be something that I really enjoyed. I love looking at houses. I love designing houses. I love watching houses being built. And I just think it's such an amazing journey to take that step in your life into home ownership. And I was always too afraid to do it. I've never really been much of a salesperson until I realized that you don't have to be a salesperson to sell houses. You just really have to have the trust and the motivation and then the knowledge. So I have a really good friend who is our realtor actually long before I joined this crazy industry. And he encouraged me that I'd be great at it. And so I decided to go ahead and go to school, get my license, and gave it a shot. Asked him if I could work with his team, who is Chad Hines of the Hines Home Team, and went for it. And here I am. And he was absolutely correct.
Yes, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, when you come at it from the space that you do, Devin, of it really is all about relationships. I mean, this is the potentially the biggest investment for most people. And so, that
Mhm.
is a big deal. And being able to understand what they need and the value that they're looking for, not the value of the home, the value inside the home and how they can see themselves making their own memories there and all of that. You have such a great personality for that, and you have such a caring heart for that. So I really think you are in such a beautiful space, and I love that you found this and you're feeling like, yes, this is what I was meant to do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's totally what I was meant to do. I do wish I would have done it earlier, but all the things leading up to where I am now was all there for a reason. So
Yeah,
only
yeah,
made me better at what I do now. And yeah, I'm not a transactional agent at all. So
right,
once you
right.
hire me, you're kind of stuck with me, and I am your family moving forward.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that. I love that attitude around that. So awesome. Well, we're going to shift gears a little bit to some fun things. You sent me some amazing pictures of the fun things you have been up to, some skydiving and a bunch of hiking and things like that. So talk to us about the that piece of it and your adventurous spirit that's inside of you.
Well, I am very adventurous. I think I was a lot more when I was younger than I am now. I'm definitely a little bit more of a scaredy cat than I used to be. However, yes, skydiving was something that I always wanted to do, and it was so much fun. I did it here in Colorado, and it was up
Oh,
north,
awesome.
and so just got to dive over the plains and see some of the mountains and did some nice gliding while we were up there and it was an absolute blast. Hiking has always been fun for me. I love side by sides and four wheelers and
Yeah.
off-roading and that sort of stuff. So we've always tried to go up to the top of a mountain and climb as many rocks as we can and stuff like that. So as far as like that adrenaline seeking kind of rush of things like that. I've always loved it. I love heights. I love being up high.
Oh,
So
awesome.
yeah, so like looking over the edge of things has always been something fun for me.
Nice.
And like jumping out of the plane, I was the first one to say, I want to go, I want to go, I want to go. So I really enjoy stuff like that. I've always been big into roller coasters growing up. I was always the one that would wear platform shoes to the park so that I could get on the rides that I was too short for. And
Did that work for you?
sometimes, yeah, or I would wear a really high ponytail, and then
Yeah.
I was like, look, I'm tall enough, I'm tall enough. My ponytail goes up to here, so sometimes they would let it slide. And one time they did actually, and it was not good because I actually did fall out of the seatbelt and was kind of hanging out outside the little cage.
Oh
My
my
sister was
goodness.
crying bloody murder, and I was like, "This is great!"
Wow. Oh my gosh, Devin, I didn't know that part.
But I'm
Wow.
alive, so it all worked out.
Wow. So did they have to stop the ride for you or what? Like what happened there?
They did, yeah. We were actually upside down, and it was one of those ones that had like a little roof, and it was like a wire cage. So I was sitting on the roof when it was upside down because everyone was upside down and I was right side up, and then I had to hold on to the sides for them to slowly bring us back down. And I was just laughing and giggling the whole time.
Oh my gosh. Oh
I
my
think I was
gosh.
like 8 years old or something. It was a blast.
And yeah, the operators are probably terrified of like, oh my gosh, we have this child hanging off there now.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to do
Yeah.
here?
Yeah. I mean, luckily it was like a caged enclosure, so I wasn't like gonna fall out of the roller coaster, but I was definitely not in the seat anymore.
Wow. Wow. Well, I guess they'll take that height. restriction seriously next time.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Oh my gosh, Devin, that's wild. And yet you were like, wow, this is so fun.
Oh, it was great. My sister remembers it very differently than I do. She thought it was the day I almost died, and I was like, that was the best roller coaster ever.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so funny. Wow. Wow. What do you think is, I mean, you talked about skydiving, but what do you think do you feel like that's the most adventurous thing you've ever done, or is there something else that's on the table as well?
I don't know. I would say that's probably like most people's envision, like the
Yeah.
craziest thing you've ever done. Skydiving is has always been part of my like two truths and a lie, because like most people don't
Ah!
think that I've gone skydiving. So that was fun, and I would do it again in a heartbeat. That has always been something super fun. There's other things that I would like to do. Like I've always wanted to go bungee jumping, and I've done like the big swing at the Rogue Gorge, and like I said, I love heights. So, uh, but yeah, I think skydiving is probably the highest and the most like extreme.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Yeah, you are pretty very adventurous, it sounds like. That's amazing. Oh my goodness. That's awesome.
And my husband hates heights, which is kind of funny.
Oh, you got to balance that out a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
You got to balance that out a little.
Yeah, yeah. I'll take the height for him.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Wow. Well, good for you. Well, no wonder. I mean, so, Devin, I appreciate that you're a brand new member of Ace Community. So no wonder you joined on the spot. You're like, yeah, bring on the adventure.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Thank you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what do you feel like we're going to shift back to your business a little bit here now. What do you feel like you have been able to, what is the moment you're most proud of when it comes to helping your clients?
I can think of many, but I can think
Yeah.
of one in it that happened last year that was absolutely fantastic. I had the sweetest young couple.
Oh,
Um, they've been together since middle school, but they were
wow.
newly married in their early 20s. They want to start a family. They want nothing more than to own a home. They had this specific neighborhood they wanted to be in, and they couldn't afford the home prices in that specific neighborhood. It was new development. So I worked with a couple of the different sales reps in that neighborhood to see if there were specific incentives that between me and the builder that we could get them into their desired home. And so I ended up rebating about $7,000 of my commission to get them to a specific interest rate, which then
Wow.
allowed them to afford a house that was about 50 grand higher than what they were looking for, because at the time that was kind of the lowest price. And they were able to get into the home of their dreams, and I was
Oh.
absolutely excited for them.
Oh, that's
It was great. It was a
amazing.
lot of work, but we made it happen, and it took some finagling and some
Yeah.
negotiation with the builder, and then again, like I said, a lot of what I was able to give to them. So it
Yeah.
definitely it was a huge accomplishment, and I was very, very, very honored and grateful to be able to help them on that.
That's amazing. Wow. So that's a huge giving heart there. I can appreciate that. That's amazing. You've done some charity work, a bit of charity work though. So based on, just our conversations and things like that, do you want to talk about like the kinds of things that you like to help people with and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously donation if I can, as far as like the monetary value, I try to donate as much as I can.
Yeah.
I am a part of a lot of networking groups that have either not-for-profit or nonprofit. And so I highly get the word out for stuff like that, and always am a sponsor at whatever type of events they have, because
Yeah.
I feel it's important to try to get in front of those people. I'm part of 100 Women Who Care,
Yeah.
and I get to actually present a nonprofit on that one, so I'm pretty excited
Yay.
about that. And just as much as I can, I just am such a firm believer in what goes around comes around.
Yeah.
And so I just feel like being a good human and showing up for the people that you love is really the best business that you could ever ask for.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that. I love that. And so on to that, you have your own community as well that you've started with another amazing woman. Do you want to talk about Heart to Heart a little bit?
Absolutely. So my dear friend Tracy Quintana, her and I collaborated together, and we wanted to create a safe women's networking event slash environment for women to come together and not only promote their business, but to connect with other women. So it's called Heart to Heart Connections, and we break people out into small groups and we kind of talk about the deeper meaning in life and the actual true connection of the heart as opposed to just handing out a business card. And this is about really meaningful connections and not just about a face of a business, and it's
Right.
about actually getting to know the people for who they are and creating that connection. So we really love that, and we've it's been about a year and a half now, and we've been very
Yeah.
successful, and we're very happy.
Yes, it is going very well. I found you guys about a year ago or so at this point, coming up probably August, I think is when I
Mhm.
first came, but I come to that as well, and it's always on the last Friday of the month.
Yep.
Couple
Mhm.
exceptions at the holiday time frames, but
Yep.
so it's in Parker and it's free to attend. So come on by if you want to, if you're interested in that as well. So
Please do. At the
yeah,
Redstone Bank in South Parker on South Parker Road across from the Pinery.
yes, yes, and we do meet from 10 to 11 on that on those mornings on the last Friday of the month. So,
Yep.
no, I love that. I love that you are involved, very involved in your community and things like that. Obviously, that's where I first met you, and then now we're part of Preferred Networking as well
Yep.
as Ace Community. And so you and I were kind of circling each other just a little bit, which I love. And then when I
Yep.
finally got a chance to get to know you, I was like, oh, I really like this woman. You
Aw,
such a beautiful spirit about you, Devin. And so I think it's just
the feeling is mutual.
oh, thanks, thanks. I appreciate that. So, surround yourself with really great people, and Devin, you're one of those. So I appreciate you for that. So tell us, what do you have coming up in your business or in your life that you want to share with our audience?
Yeah, sure. So the biggest thing that I'm working on right now is adding a little bit of an additional branding to my business. So
Okay.
as you all know, I am a residential realtor. However, the Homes with Devin piece of my business is a little bit more focused around the design, whether or not I can help other clients with just kind of designing their space or making their space a little more of what they want, or to make them feel a certain way, those kinds of things. We're doing some major house projects at our home as well, and I just love seeing a design come to life, and then
Uh,
just to see how it makes you feel when you walk in the room. I'm all about how things make me feel, and so
yeah.
I love helping people design those spaces that maybe don't have the eye for it. It does help with, selling homes. Obviously, I do staging as well. I kind of help, like, let's add this or take that away, or, something like that to prepare the home. And, but then also being able to help the buyer with a new home, how to visualize that space and how they can make it their own as well. So I just absolutely love doing that. And so that's a part of what I'm building on that
Okay.
kind of second side of my business.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Mhm.
Oh, that seems so perfect too, because you had an event where you were designing kitchens and things like that with a holiday event, right? With Preferred Networking.
No, we did it at Cabinet IQ,
Oh,
which
okay,
is
yeah.
a kitchen showroom, which I do use their services for, if I'm helping on that area of
Yeah.
things. So helping my sister do her kitchen right now with them. So yeah,
Awesome.
because we got to make it danceable.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Well, very good. Well, this has been amazing. So, Devin, what's the best way for our audience to get in touch with you?
I would say social media is always good. Devin Ann Lease is my Facebook. My homes underscore with underscore Devin. So homes with Devin is my Instagram. The website is actually in construction. It's almost done. It will be homeswithdevin.com, or my email address is devin@homeswithdevin.com.
Okay.
Uh, and really just kind of feel free to Google my name. You can find my cell phone number or my email address that way as well.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, the advantage of being a realtor, right? You have
Yeah.
everything out there
Or
pretty far.
disadvantage sometimes. You never know.
Yeah. Exactly. Hopefully people aren't using it at, 1 in the morning, but
Yeah.
there's that. So, well, Devin, thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate it. And to our audience, we're super excited to have our 5 speakers, and Devin being one of them, on Wednesday, July 1st. We do meet again from 4 to 6 p.m. at Bucket List Tavern in Castle Rock. So certainly would love to see you. Go ahead and check out our website, ace-community.com. So ACE community.com, and then you can register for free for our meeting and hear Devin as one of our speakers as well. So, Devin, thank you so much for your time and energy. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Jackie. And thanks to
Absolutely.
all of you listeners.